Hola, my friends. Welcome back to A Life I Choose, the place to be to design your life so you can thrive. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Emma. I'm a psychotherapist, a lifestyle strategist, and I'm also the founder of A Life I Choose. A Life I Choose is a self-development agency where we work with our clients to amplify your strengths so that you can overcome any challenge and create a life that is truly fulfilling, exciting, meaningful, and full of joy. Or joyful. Yeah, joyful. Today, I have a video for you called How to Create a Routine You Love. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a conversation with Malta Creative Collective, and they approached me about having a discussion about routine and how that affects creativity and whether a routine is a choice or a necessity. What I was saying is that routine is absolutely a necessity. We need it because it gives us that stability, it gives us that structure, so that you're not constantly having to create something from nothing and create newness kind of all of the time, which is very, very taxing on the brain, and it just takes up too much energy. At the same time, I said that what we have choice over is the quality of the routine that we create, because we can, have a routine that is like gives us super structure but gives us no flexibility. Or we could have a routine that puts us in a state of urgency all day long and it's just too much to keep up with. And so we stay in a state of fight or flight and no creativity comes from that space. So I spoke about creating a quality of routine that supports you to be the way that you want to be, to live life at the quality that you want to live it. And as I watched it back, a few days ago, I was thinking, okay, what I want is to revisit this topic and give you guys some concrete steps that you can use to create a routine that really, really serves you. So to do this, I'm just going to go back a bit. You can watch the video again, I'll link it down below. But I'm just going to touch on it, okay? If you want to go into more detail, go back to it, watch it, enjoy it. Over here, I'm just going to touch upon what we discussed, and I'm going to go further into the how. How do you create this routine? What are the practical action steps that you need to take? On that video, we spoke about defining your outcome. What is your outcome for your week? Okay, let's say you're designing your week. You can take this as far as you want. You can create a routine for your month or your year. Unless I have like a big goal that I'm working towards, like for example, the New Year Evolution Workshop, I will create a schedule that spans about 3 months where I know what action steps I need to take in each month, but then I'll go week by week and I'll create a week that serves what I need. So you can play with this and you can make it yours. But let's say you're looking at the week ahead and you're saying, okay, what's my outcome for this week? And now what most people do is they'll go straight to their task. But what's important is that you define your outcome first. What is your outcome for the week ahead? So you might tell me, I want to have a week where I'm creative, productive, I feel happy and healthy, and I feel connected to my loved ones. And I think that's a kick-ass week, because essentially, instead of treating yourself like a production robot, like the only thing that exists in your life is your career, and you know that I love career and I love my career, but let's face it, we are not just our careers, we are our relationships, and we are our health, and we are our finances, and we are our everything. There's so much to us that makes us who we are. And we need to take this into account as we live our lives, because when we focus only on our careers, then we go off balance. So to address this, instead of just listing the tasks of the things that you have to do in your career, for your career, or even just for your personal life, first you're going to define the outcome. So I want to create a week where I am productive, creative, I feel happy and healthy and connected to my loved ones. Awesome. This is your outcome. Then you go to your why. Why does that even matter? Okay, there are going to be obstacles along the way. There are going to be obstacles towards you connecting with your loved ones. Maybe a deadline comes up, okay, or you make a mistake on a project and you need to dedicate more time to it or whatever. So you need to remember why all of these different things matter. So why is it important that you're productive and creative? It's important because you want to give the most value you can to your clients, to your audience, to the people who you are serving, right? And you also want to feel proud of the work that you put out. For example, don't take my whys, create your own, okay? 2, why is it important that you feel happy and healthy? Because this is my tank, right? This is my fuel. This is where the energy comes from. The work comes from me feeling good, being in a good state. When I am stressed out or anxious or just not in a good space, or I don't feel well, or I have pain in my body or whatever, the work comes out much slower and it hurts, right? I have to push it out of me. I don't want to have to push the work out of me. I want it to flow out of me. And for it to flow, I need to feel good. I need to feel light in my head and happy and well. And I need to have a level of safety and trusting that things are okay. And I need my body to be feeling good and recovering from wear and tear and feeling rested and energized at the same time. That's why it matters. And why does it matter that I feel connected to my loved ones? Because the quality of my relationships equals the quality of my life. And that's why it matters, because when our relationships are draining, we feel very, very unsafe and we feel very, very on edge. When our relationships are a place that we go to give and to fill up, then we experience a level of safety that is true nourishment, and we can bring that to our work and we can bring that to the other areas of our lives. So this is why it matters that I connect and I honor my relationships and the place that they hold in my heart. Then once you have your outcome and your why, you're going to move to your how. Okay, at the moment we're going through a process called the rapid planning method. I've spoken to you about this process before, and if you're a client of mine, God knows you've done it. So the rapid planning method is something that I learned from Tony Robbins. It's a super effective tool for meeting your outcomes. So now we go to your how. Your how is when we create your strategy to create a routine that you love. First, you are going to list down the tasks that you need to create this week, right? So instead of this being the first thing that you're gonna do, this is a part of your strategy. Outcome, why, how. Now we're listing the tasks. So just write them all down. So there might be things in there like meeting with blah, 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 and therapy session and exercise. And there might be things like make a video for blah, 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 or client sessions or client meetings or grocery shopping, blah, 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 blah. Okay, just make a list of the things that you need to do this week. Then you're gonna look at that list and you're going to assign the similar tasks to a particular role. So let me explain. If there are things to do with the house, like grocery shopping, cleaning, watering the plants, you assign those a role, like domestic goddess. And those go into that role. When you are in the role of domestic goddess, you are taking care of your home, okay? Let's say then you have tasks that are to do with communication, okay? So things like making videos, creating content, being on Instagram. That would go into something like communications guru or whatever. That's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want, okay? So that goes under that role. And then let's say you have things like you need to do your accounts. That could go on the money magnet. Or you need to make payments. That also goes on the money magnet. So you need to do your taxes. You need to prepare for taxes, blah, blah, blah. That also goes on the money magnet. Okay? Once you have your list of tasks and then you have your roles with the tasks that come underneath it, and the reason it's important to choose your roles is because your behavior comes from your identity. So if you are in the role of therapist, for example, or if you're in the role of communications, you cannot also be in the role of wife or in the role of domestic goddess, because let's say I'm in the role of therapist, I'm with my client, and I'm also trying to think about what I'm going to cook for dinner. So I'm going off into the role of domestic goddess. You can't. You pick your role, And from the role, this creates a boundary, and the behavior that comes is from that role specifically. So when I'm in the role of therapist, I am in the role of therapist, and I'm there, fully present. I'm not also there. And this applies for anything. You know, when you're in meetings with your clients, so you're doing customer care, you're doing customer service, you are in that role. You're not also thinking about creating content later on. You don't go off into communications guru, right? The role provides the boundary, and this is going to protect your energy, because when you try to multitask, when you try to do too many different things at one go, this saps your energy. It's too much for the brain to do. Once you have your list of tasks and your roles, you're then going to prioritize them according to what is important, urgent, urgent and important, not important, not urgent. Okay? And in this way, you know what you need to do. Now, once you have gone through the tasks and you have decided what is important, blah, 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 you create space for it on your weekly planner. And you are going to schedule specific times. You're going to chunk time for your specific tasks according to the priority and also according to the role. You're not going to put in a bunch of tasks from a bunch of different roles all in the same time. That doesn't make sense, because you're going to be going from one thing to the other. So let's say that you're going to look at your weekly planner, and in the mornings, 4 days a week in the morning, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do yoga for my health. Okay, and then 3 times a week in the evenings, I'm going to mark time to connect with a friend or a family member, either in person or via video call. Okay, and there you're meeting your needs for health and connection. And then you schedule, a date night with your partner somewhere. This is taking care of your health, connection, happiness. You schedule time for meditation, blah blah blah. Okay, and these, you're in the role of health bringer or whatever. Then you're gonna chunk time for your other things, like let's say on a Monday morning, you're gonna schedule an hour and a half for planning content. And then you're going to take a break, so you could go into domestic goddess and you could cook or you could clean for an hour and a half, or for an hour or whatever. And then you're going to leave some free time for whatever comes up, or even just to sit down and read a book or whatever. And then you're going to have your meetings scheduled for the afternoon, and maybe a therapy session in the evening or whatever. I think you get the point. So you then take you're going to schedule it according to what is most important and urgent, and then what's most urgent, and you're making time, and you know what goes where. You wake up already knowing what you have planned for the day. And this might seem monotonous for some people, but what's important is that you remember that your routine is there to serve you, not the other way around. So if it's not working for you, if it becomes too monotonous, you can switch it up, you can change it, But what's important is that you're not draining your energy every morning thinking, oh shit, where do I start from? You know where you need to start from. And when you follow your schedule, you're going to meet your targets, because you're going to be hitting what's most important. You're going to be hitting what's most urgent. And you're going to be moving towards your goals always, At the same time, it's important that you don't treat yourself like a robot. Your routine needs to have some flexibility for the things that come up unexpectedly, or, maybe you're not feeling your best and you need to take some time out. There needs to be space for this. And so it's important that you don't schedule it like dung, 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 like every minute is accounted for. There needs to be some free time. And remember, you're creating a routine, not solely so that you are your most productive self. It's so that you're your happiest self as well, and so that you are meeting your goals in a way that feels good, and that is going to give you the energy to keep going. So then once you have your week planned out and you can see it in front of you, you just live it. You live it, you enjoy it. It's trial and error as well. So if something isn't working, no probs, you just tweak it the week after. If you realize you actually needed more time for content creation and less time for accounts, for example, you just tweak it, And the best thing about a schedule is that you can reschedule. So if something comes up and it's like, I really want to go there, but you're supposed to be doing something else. If it's not urgent, you can reschedule it. You can move it. You can move your chunks. If you feel inspired at one moment, like this week, I was supposed to plan content creation on Wednesday afternoon, but I felt really inspired to make a video. It was very, very clear in my head what I wanted to say. So I switched it. I was supposed to be making videos Friday morning. It's Friday morning, by the way, and I'm making videos. So, you know what I mean? You can play with your schedule. It's not about making a prison for yourself that you just live through. It's creating a routine is about designing your life to be the way you want it to be, to have the quality that you want it to have the feel that you want it to have. You want it to feel graceful. You want it to be creative. You want it to be connected. You want it to feel healthy. And if you want your life to be high quality, you just do a bit of planning to make sure that you have that vibe and that feeling. So guys, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your friends if you found this valuable. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video next week. And in the meantime, I send you lots of love and enjoyable scheduling and a high quality of life. Bye. Peace.